Heath Ledger's Joker was that was like a once in a lifetime situation. That was I don't know if he could have even topped that performance in anything else that he's done. And he was a really good actor, but that was over the top. It was so good.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. That he's done some amazing acting, but I think that his Joker it came from a very interesting place. You know, like the mythos of Joker until Heath Ledger had always fallen into the vat of chemicals. And his Joker was without chemicals, and he was still just as crazy. You know, like that. I remember reading this before the movie dropped in like 2007 or 8. You remember when they first started showing the first pictures of him with the Glasgow smile?
Yeah.
And I remember the hate, the vitriol that was coming from all online. Oh, that doesn't look like the Joker. You know, Joker doesn't look like that. Oh, no. You know, people just getting angry and upset about the situation. I'm sitting there like, It's like, wait, I want to see what happens. And I remember once the movie dropped and the first few people began to talk about the movie, there was one comment that I'll never forget. This guy said, Heath Ledger's Joker turns the world upside down by saying that the Joker did not need chemicals to become crazy, just toxic people. So we flipped out Ace chemicals for toxic people. And I was like, that's a very good line.
And it's interesting too, because like I haven't even seen Phoenix's Joker, but I just suspect it's just not going to be. He's doing a different thing. And it's a hard act to follow behind what Heath Ledger did, because it wasn't even the fact that Heath Ledger he would have been a legend after that, whether he had lived or not, because it was just such a superlative. Man, it was just an incredible performance.
Absolutely. And you're right. Like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie is not the same. It's actually more like a fever dream. We don't know. Like the ending is left for open interpretation. We don't know if it means that Arthur Fleck dreamed this entire situation in his mind while he was smoking a cigarette while the counselor's talking to him, or if he had ended up in that position from all the things that had happened beforehand. We don't know. They didn't give us the information. We had to go about allowing ourselves to make the ending of what we wanted to be. So even if you take both of those endings, there's no way it can match up to Heath Ledger's Joker. It just doesn't. You know, like Heath Ledger's Joker was intelligent, he was dangerous, and he also was driven to show the world that he was right. And that is a deadly combo. That's a deadly combination when you have a person that looks at you and says, it's not about the money, it's about the message. Everything burns. I was like, I don't know what Christopher Nolan was smoking. I don't know what he was on, what fever dream he had, or what, I don't know. Because there are three things in that movie that to this day makes me ponder about Jokers, so to speak. It was the line when the Joker was talking to Rachel, and he looked at her and he said, do my scars make you uncomfortable? Do you want to know how I got these scars? And the fact that
the story was different every time was
every
ridiculous.
Single time. It adds to his madness. It added to his madness, so that was one. The other one was Alfred's story about the man that came to the village that was stealing precious jewels, and they were finding them on the side of the road. And he did that famous quote where he said that some men just want to see the world burn. And I was like, he's telling the truth, but it's just the story was so powerful when he spoke it. I was like, that is a very good point. That sometimes there are people, men and women, that don't care about you placating them or making them feel better about the situation. Sometimes they really just like seeing stuff burn, you know, and that was, and then the other one was the one I just mentioned where he was talking to the mobster, and he was like, that's you guys' problem. All you care about is money. And it's not about the money, it's about the message. And then they had the pan shot of him, and he's standing in front of a bunch of, like a little mountain of money, and it's on fire, everything burns. And I was like, so do you know what I did to this city with a couple of pounds of gasoline? I was like,
oh yeah, with a few gallons of gasoline, some matches.
It's some matches.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what I did to this city with that? And I was like, that's a dangerous man right there. Like it's a dangerous dude, yo. So yeah,